Before we move on to our core topic, we have community responses from our last video. So our last video was what you dislike about the gaming community. We had a pretty long rant about it. And these are some people that chimed in. You guys ranted too, but yes, I was the vocal one. Great segue into Matt's question over here. The vocal minority. This is what he doesn't like. I am using this to lump in a few types of people, but mainly those who insist that games in the past are superior to those of today. I was there. They weren't. Not that it isn't this to say some aren't, but the vast majority would bomb by today's standards. There was also a ton more shovelware. Plus, now that a younger generation has been gaming for a while, you start to see it's just geezers like me complain about the newfangled music. Some guys was talking about how they dumbed FO4's Fallout 4's character building. I was like, FO4 character building and RPG elements for dumber gamers. If that kid only knew the fury of Fallout 2 purists upon 3's announcement.
But what he's getting at though is they continue to dumb it down. But yeah, you can say they dumbed down from 2 to 3. They did. They dumbed down from 3 to 4. They did. It's not doesn't necessarily mean it's worse.
But technically, they add way more modding.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of that, the mods are actually coming out soon for Xbox One.
Yeah, I know.
I'm talking about game mods in the...
No, I know. I'm just saying.
Okay, gotcha.
Or just get a PC.
He makes a good point, though, because I have some friends that they won't play new games because only the old ones are better. I agree that some of the best games I think in my head of catalog games I would say in like the top 15, I would put a lot of older games.
Me too.
But The Last of Us is definitely up there for me for one of the best games ever.
Yeah.
Best experience.
I do disagree, and maybe I'm not just thinking about this logically. There's so much more shovelware today than there was back then.
I think it's becoming that with Steam.
Okay, we need to clarify shovelware. Is that just like random shit games that come out?
Yeah, random shit games. Okay. I don't think main system, but now with the PSN, for sure, there's a lot of crap going on there now.
The one thing he did mention, he talked about how like today's standards. I actually think today's standards are better, but worse at the same time. Graphically, a game needs to have, this and this and this. But I mean, look what for standards nowadays. People are paying $60 for a multiplayer game. That's it. That's all you're getting. Back in the day, if that released, I mean, that would get ripped apart. You just didn't hear about it because social media wasn't a big thing.
Well, back then you would pay like $70 for a 5-hour game too. So, this is a conflicting point. Good job, Matt. I mean, there is the vocal minority.
Fantasy Star was originally $100.
How much?
100.
Fantasy Star?
Yeah.
That's not 5 hours.
I know. I'm just saying, but I thought you were pricing point wise.
Yeah.
Games are cheaper today now than they've ever been.
Yeah.
Agreed to a point.
I think they are.
When you start talking about what you're paying for this,
let's not go into economics and all that type of stuff.
Well, he's kind of thinking about it. I don't know.
I overall agree with this point, kind of.
But good job, Matt. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, keep posting.
All right, let's go down this one, and then I have two that kind of correspond to each other that I really want to talk about.
Hang loose, man.
Oh yeah, Hawaii. All right, June.
Did you really just do that?
I don't know. When pay to win and freemium players call it gaming. It's a game, yeah, but I think game requires skill, tact, and I don't know, exploration, stuff like that.
Hold
Wait.
the phone there, Missy.
I like it. She just went all guns a-blazing.
Okay, hold on. Read what she just wrote again.
When pay to win and freemium games call it gaming. It's a game, yeah, but I think games require skill, tact, and I don't know, exploration, stuff like that.
Have you played Perfect World?
But you know what? I have to agree with her on some of her points.
Well, some, yes, but you can't just lump every game. Perfect World requires a shit ton of skill, and it's a huge-ass world. That's exploration.
Not a lot of skill. But
what about the game I talked about, Warframe?
True.
Yeah.
No.
He can attest that Perfect World probably takes a little bit of skill.
But I think
group coordination,
this
all that.
This is
In
the
PvP,
one thing
yeah.
that I think the gaming community is trying to change. Like we have a lot of people coming out of Santa Monica studios. They're making free-to-play games like Guns Up, Drawn to Death,
I think the problem is free-to-play. Unfortunately, whenever the connotation behind it right now is when you hear free-to-play, it's pay to win. There's a cash shop in it.
Yeah.
There's such a bad
Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah.
You
But
have to
here's
buy
the
the
thing.
game, but it's free once you buy it.
I overall agree with what she's saying on this case because it is right now I almost say just freemium type games.
It is pay to win.
It's pay to win, but
Which sucks.
Yeah, but
they screwed Last of Us in multiplayer because of this. Oh, you can buy the best guns and you
which is
cannot
really,
unlock.
I don't understand why Naughty Dog did that.
No, that was really dumb. That was so I get what you're saying, but there's always an exception.
Yeah, that's why she shouldn't have lumped, but I understand.
Well, she can do it all she wants.
She can.
We were getting brash and
Just putting that exclamation point down.
It's a sad face actually too. All right.
Don't be sad. Be happy.
Nichole with an H wrote in, it is so ridiculously male dominant. And as a woman, it feels like it's hard to be part of that community. Thanks for tuning in again. She commented on our first video. Now she's commenting on
Very
Facebook.
true.
But yes, it is definitely male dominant. And we're going to lump this one in with Kiya's post because this is a very, very good one. Very long.
Kiya's very active.
And they will complement each other. I think as a female, there are two. This is from Kiya. I think as a female, there are two things in particular that drive me crazy that relate directly to being a female gamer. Firstly, when I meet someone new, usually a male, I hate to generalize, but this has been my experience on many occasions. I'm going to back you up because I've seen this happen so many times.
Yeah,
and I tell them my game, it becomes an interrogation. Not a fun conversation about whether you play console or PC, and if you console game, what you preferred, what your preferred console is, or what franchise you enjoy, etc. But a heated grilling of every detail of any game I say I enjoy to be sure I'm not making it up or pretending to game to be cool or one of the guys.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that point before we go on to our second point.
Yeah, I mean,
ridiculous.
we'll all agree. That's part of the game community that just needs to grow up. It's so
stupid.
But honestly, at the end of the day, that's gonna change. It's because like when we were younger, adults didn't play games. It was only a kids thing. Look what it is now. Women are actually a huge part of gaming now, like especially
awesome.
on the esports scene. Like they're gigantic, and it's going to take time. Like as much as we're all normal people, we're smart, we're intelligent. We're actually nice enough to know who cares if it's a woman, a guy, it doesn't matter. It's the overall. You're talking these immature 8 to.
What sucks though is this happens quite often.
Oh, it always happens.
It's just men who feel like females are encroaching in on their territory and they're losing their masculinity somehow because females are gaming, which is stupid. But that's
Yeah,
what they feel like.
at the end of the day, like I really truly believe that within the next 5 to 10 years, like this is almost going to be a non-issue because the gaming community, as long as you have,
Hopefully.
yes, if
It's
you
not
have,
going to be.
no, hold on though, if you have a generation of people who grow up, and it's hey, you gotta because what was it when we were growing up? It was 3, 4, 5, 6 of us who were always here. There usually wasn't a girl because they didn't just for whatever reason that just wasn't the case. When that becomes the normal thing,
See it too is look now like being a nerd or a geek is celebrated. So there's like a renaissance of nerdisms going on. So
Yeah, but we still get crap for that too.
not often.
Oh, you don't go to events like I do.
Well, I know, but I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, see, I try and live in this world where none of that happens because the people we relate to are really nice gamers and everything.
For the most
But
part, yes.
when you go outside of that bubble for some reason, God, they treat each other like shit, and then the other side of things, people treat them like shit. But one thing, remember Naomi Kyle, an IGN host, now the Daily Fix host? People gave her shit all the time because she's pretty, so she can't be actually gaming. And it's like the second a hot girl at games, she's like, oh, she's got to be faking it.
Again, it's just unfortunately I don't know why it's a stereotype that people continue to hold on to, and there's nothing that can change that other than the movement that continues to happen. More women need to continue gaming. More of us need to keep talking about hey, we played so and so game with this person. They need to. I think the thing is if you look at the YouTube community, the Twitch community, the most popular people are all men right now. But you have some women who are second tier. The problem is you need to have them get popular and be respected. It's you need to get away from the thing that women are just pretty to look at online or something like that.
Yeah.
That stereotype needs to go away.
Yeah, it's just a large vocal minority that does it. So stupid.
I agree. So that's probably why Nichole doesn't get into
And
it
to
as well.
clarify, when he said second tier, he didn't mean they're second tier because they're female.
viewer-wise. Yeah. All right, let's move on to our second point.
Sorry.
Secondly, from Kiya, the mentality that I cannot just be bad at a game due to lack of general skill, experience, playstyle, or any other number of reasons. If I am bad at a game or even just having a bad game, it must be because I'm female. Those are two things that I deal with on a regular basis that really bother me. So that's why I say I don't even think we live in this world. Obviously, we're not women.
Well,
So-
yeah, that I was literally just gonna jump in there. It's like this is hard for us to even talk about because we can't associate that. Like I've seen it happen, but it's like I don't deal with it on a
Every
daily
This,
basis.
yeah, well, it's same thing with like race and everything like that. What's also the main problem is these people that are making these comments to Kiya and many other females is that they have the whole anonymity. I can never say that word. Anonymity.
Yep.
Where
Of
they're
online.
behind. Yeah, they're online, so it's like you can't see actually how you're affecting that person. So
Keyboard warriors.
Yeah, but she was telling about even in conversation with people. I've seen that so many times. Like I'm at a party, obviously hanging around with a lot of nerds. A girl comes over, and it's like, "Oh, you didn't know about this game? Oh, well, let me show you how you actually really." I'm like, "Dude, just fucking chill out."
yeah, like there's one meme where it was, I think it was a Tinder thing or something like that, where this girl's like, "Oh yeah, I game." And then the guy's like, "Oh, do you? What's like Mario's jeans or overall brand or something like that?"
Denim.
Yeah,
Denim. Best joke ever.
Yep.
guys are just stupid.
Again,
Stupid.
I just wholeheartedly agree. I wish it could change overnight. It's time. It's a generational thing that needs to just get
Yeah,
wiped away.
I agree.
All right, she adds a little bonus. Plus, all the unsolicited messages asking me if I'm hot, if I want to suck some dick, or calling me a fat whore. She's not fat. And telling me girls can't game. The gaming community can be super neat. And she puts a bunch of exclamation points. I'd like to take a moment to make it clear that I don't by any means feel that all males in the gaming community have these mentalities, behave in this way. I know many wonderful male gamers. Yes, I pride myself as being a
Male gamer.
a nice, a nice male gamer. I don't treat people like
Yeah.
shit. There are just things I encounter at disappointing frequency, and when these encounters occur, it unfortunately involves males the vast majority of the time.
I mean, it actually gets worse the more male. Like a lot of times, because you'll see it, they just start feeding off each other.
Oh,
and
yeah,
get
it's mob mentality.
and it's
Yep.
again.
A story just popped in my head.
Alright.
When I was playing Halo 3 online, and the second a girl's voice came on, it was like this guy's like, "Oh hey, how's it going?" And like it went from him paying attention to the game, it was like to get in her pants. That is basically the mentality of his all the
Paints
questions
a
he was
really,
asking.
Really sad picture of the community.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, as much as we can say, look at how many people there are out there doing a good thing. Like you've mentioned, it's the vocal minority. There's so many kids that and a lot of times it's not even kids, it's adults. Like
Yeah,
there's
cyberbullying. Dude.
yeah,
It's
there's just
ridiculous.
not a thing we can do about it. It's got to just weed itself out, and more
Well,
women.
I mean, you can just
yeah.
submit grief reports and stuff like
Well,
that.
yeah.
But it doesn't.
But like the thing is, like more and more women just need to continue gaming, and then the more and more that becomes a regular thing, eventually it's
I
gonna.
feel like it already is a regular thing though. It's because I know so many girls.
But the problem
game.
is, you have people who are between 20 and 50 who game right now. Who, when they grew up like us, they weren't. Women just didn't game as much, and there was no reason they should have. But and so now
Male
it's changing.
targeted.
Yeah.
There's something I was gonna say.
By the way, Kiya, we all apologize for our gender that this happens to females.
yeah.
Just to females in general, we apologize. It's,
it's,
it's terrible that
I don't really apologize just because I'm a male, but it does suck.
no, I apologize for our gender for
Yeah.
them doing this, not us specifically.
Now, those assholes are gonna be assholes no matter what we do.
I know.
It'll get better eventually.
Part about
hopefully.
kids, she just puts in one aspect. Also, the ridiculous number of 12-year-olds on mics prepubescently screaming in my ears. Yeah, that does suck. That's super,
There's nothing you can do about that.
yeah,
either.
it's super funny when they're like, "Meh." I love their voices. It's great.
What I always say is play a complicated game. They're not there.
Yeah, that's true. They're usually on the first-person shooters, but then they
Call of
get all the
Duty, Halo.
crap. But you know what? If they're having fun with it, just don't swear at me, little kids. It makes me feel
That's why I
uncomfortable.
stopped talking for like 2 years.
Yeah, we talked about it. Was a year last time. Are we jumping up to 2?
Well, I don't remember what
Next
it was.
video, it's going to be the last 5 years I haven't spoken in a video game. So
Well, never know.
that was a good discussion. So thank you for tuning in, guys and ladies, and we'll see you next week.
No, really?
Well, maybe not. We have a weird schedule. We'll figure that out as we go.
We'll keep you updated.
All right, now onto the core topic.